In this video, I'm going to show you how busy men over 40 can transform their bodies by working out just twice a week. My name is Rio and I help busy men over 40 transform their bodies with minimal time investment. This video is going to be split up into 3 different sections. First, I'm going to talk about why it's not only possible, but actually optimal for you to be training just twice a week as a busy man over 40. Secondly, I'm going to be talking about the 3 keys to making twice a week training work. And finally, I'm going to show you exactly how to structure a twice a week training program. Most people have probably told you that if you want to gain muscle, you shouldn't be training any less than 4 to 5 times per week. But the truth is, especially as a busy guy over 40, your recovery ability is limited and you'd actually benefit from doing less. If you've ever tried traditional fitness programs that have you in the gym 4 to 6 times per week, you've probably experienced a lack of results and a ton of fatigue. With work, family, and other responsibilities, you don't have the same recovery ability that you did when you were 18. And most guys over 40 are following routines that are misaligned with this reduced recovery ability, and that's why they're continuously spinning their wheels. Not only are they following programs for younger guys, but they're following routines that are built by steroid users who have the luxury of being able to recover fast and easily from high volumes of training. The key thing to understand is that building muscle has nothing to do with how much volume you do or how much time you spend in the gym, but it has everything to do with how much progress you can make. And making progress means getting stronger over time. In order to achieve this consistent progression to where you're adding a little bit of weight to the bar or doing an extra rep every single week, you need to go into every single workout fully fresh and fully recovered. And believe it or not, muscle is not built in the gym. Muscle is built outside of the gym when you're resting and recovering. This is why most guys experience massive breakthroughs when they switch to training just twice a week. They have so many recovery days each week that all of a sudden they're fully fresh, they're fully recovered for every single workout, and as a result, they can achieve consistent progress. As a busy guy over 40, consistency and sustainability is the name of the game. You need a simple, flexible, and time-efficient training program that fits into your busy schedule. Where most guys over 40 go wrong is that they bite off more than they can chew. And I get it, as a high achiever, you want to give your 100% to everything. But the truth is, consistency beats intensity any day of the week. And even a guy with an extremely busy schedule can stay consistent with just 2 workouts per week. My dad is a great example of someone who really benefited from this twice a week training approach. He's a busy dad with a hectic schedule, and he knew that he wouldn't be able to sustain doing more than 2 workouts per week. And guess what? In the last year, he's missed literally no workouts because of how flexible and sustainable this approach is. Hey, real quick, if you're a busy man over 40 struggling to find time for the gym, I created a free minimalist muscle building masterclass for you that will teach you how to gain muscle, lose fat, and reclaim your confidence, all by working out just twice a week. You can pick it up for free by clicking the first link in my description. On a recent interview I did with my dad, he mentioned that the main benefit of working out just twice a week is the flexibility that it offers. And so, for example, let's say you're supposed to train on Monday. If for whatever reason you can't hit that workout on Monday, you can simply push your workout to Tuesday or push it to Wednesday. This is really powerful from a mental standpoint because so many guys, especially over 40, try and commit to these crazy workout frequencies to where they're in the gym 4 to 6 times a week, and they inevitably end up missing workouts and not being able to sustain that approach. And then they have feelings of guilt, and then that guilt builds up over time because they miss so many workouts, they can't stay consistent, and then they end up throwing in the towel completely. But when you're working out just twice a week, you have the flexibility to shift your workout schedule to accommodate your busy life. There are 3 keys to succeeding with a twice a week training plan. The first key is training with intensity. And so training with intensity means pushing your sets close to failure and making your sets count. And so you need to squeeze out every single rep that you can possibly do using good form on every single set. Now you might be thinking, Rio, I'm over 40. Won't I get hurt training close to failure? The truth is, no, you will not get hurt as long as you don't sacrifice your exercise form on those last tough reps. And you also need to make sure that you have the safety racks in place in case you do fail. The truth is, most injuries in the weight room are caused by overuse, which is usually the result of doing too much volume, not training close to failure. The reason why it's really important to train close to failure when you're training just twice a week is because you need to replace the lack of volume with more intensity. And so Arthur Jones, the pioneer of high intensity training, has a famous quote where he says, "You can either train long or you can train train hard, but you can't do both. And what he means when he says that is that there's basically a trade-off between volume, which is the amount of exercises and sets you do, and intensity, which is how hard you train. And so if you're gonna do a lot of volume, you can't train as hard, right? You have to reduce your training intensity. And if you're going to do less volume, all of a sudden you're gonna be able to train much harder. And the most important thing to understand here is that fundamentally, training hard is what counts. Training hard is what builds a great physique. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is look around your gym at all the people who are spending hours upon hours in the gym every single week, doing endless amounts of training volume. A lot of them have no muscle mass to show for all the time and effort they put into the gym. And the reason being is because, again, how much time you put into the gym, how much volume you do is not as important as how hard you train. And to train hard, you have to do less volume. This is the trade-off that you want to take advantage of as a busy guy over 40. If you train hard, you can build a ton of muscle with very little training volume and very little time spent in the gym. The next key is focusing on compound exercises. And so compound exercises are movements that work multiple joints and muscle groups. Some good examples include squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, weighted chin-ups, rows, and dips. The reason why you want to focus on compound exercises when you're training just twice a week is because they're the most efficient bang for your buck movements. They work an enormous amount of muscle in your body, you can load them the most, and they're the easiest to progressively overload. If you were to place most of your focus on isolation exercises, which are exercises that work a single joint and muscle group, examples include bicep curls, calf raises, etc., you would need dozens of isolation exercises to cover the same amount of musculature that you could cover with just a few compound exercises. The next key is to focus on progressive overload. Like I mentioned earlier, progression is the name of the game. And so by training hard on the right exercises, you're going to be creating a lot of tension in your muscles and stimulating muscle growth. But the truth is, that is not enough to keep muscle growth coming. It's good for stimulating muscle growth, but to continuously gain muscle over time, you need to continue increasing tension levels. And the way you do that is by increasing the amount of weight you lift over time. And that is basically the principle of progressive overload. Finally, you need to have a solid way of splitting up your 2 workouts each week. And this brings me to how to structure a twice a week training plan. From my experience, the most effective and efficient way to set up a twice a week training plan is using a full body twice a week split. And so this is basically where you hit your entire body in each workout. Typically, these routines consist of 5 exercises and 2 to 3 sets per exercise. And I could technically lay out the entire plan for you here, but honestly, I could just give you the entire workout program for free. And so if you want to learn more about training twice a week and you want the entire training program completely laid out for you, click the link in my description to pick that up, and I'll see you over there.